How'd it go? Ready for the answer? Let's work our way through the code line by line to figure out the output. Starting here on line number 1, it's our familiar print statement. This is just going to print out challenge 1. Moving on to line number 2, it's a blank line, so Python just ignores this completely. Coming down to line number 3, notice that it starts with a hash mark. This means that it's a comment. So whenever Python sees a hash mark, it just ignores the rest of the line. No output here either. Next, on line number 4, we come to our very first variable. It's named message, and the value is the string. This is going to be tricky. Whenever I come to a variable, I write it down and I keep its current value. So let's create a box for message. And its value, this is going to be tricky. Great. Next, on line number 5, we update the message variable with the value, very tricky. Actually, is that what happened here? Did you catch our trick? We created a new variable named capital M message. So let's write that one down. We'll create a new box, and it's capital M message. And its value is very tricky. On to line number 6. We print out the lowercase m message variable. Keep in mind, variables in Python are case sensitive. So this is only going to print out our very first message variable. And then next, we have a hash mark. Once again, this is an inline comment, so Python is just going to ignore this entire section of the code. Hopefully you're starting to get the hang of how Python ignores white space and comments. So let's move to the next one, line number 7. This is also a blank line, nothing to do here. Coming down to line number 8, we have another hash mark. This entire line is a comment, there's no output. Next, on line number 9, we have a new variable, and it's named result. Let's create a box for it as well. Perfect. And if we look at the value of result, it's 2 with 2 stars and a 3. Did you remember that 2 stars next to each other represent an exponential operation in Python? If so, that's awesome. So this is 2 to the 3rd power, or 8. Let's write it down inside of our box. Then, on line number 10, we're going to print out the value of our result variable. But first, we're going to print 2 to the 3rd power equals. Great. Moving on to line number 11, we're changing the value of our result variable just to a simple subtraction, 5 minus 3. So now we can update result with the value of 2. Cool. On to line number 12. Here, we print out the result. Or do we? No, we don't actually. Can you spot why? Yes, it's because of the hash mark. Whenever Python sees this, it's going to treat this entire line just like a comment and completely ignore it. Moving on to line number 13, it's just another blank line, nothing to see here. And then finally, line number 14, we print out challenge complete. Were you able to figure out the output on your own? If so, that's awesome. You're well on your way to mastering the ins and outs of variables and data types. If not, that's okay too. It takes lots of time and practice for most people to really understand how these things work. I'll be including reminders and tips as we go along, and you can always check the exercise files for more practice. But whatever you do, don't give up.